Okay, here we are, day 2 in our first stretch. One of my favorite stretches. You're going to keep hearing me say that. I have a foam roller. You don't necessarily need one. Any object that kind of mirrors this, you'll see for the setup, works. This is going to be really nice for the upper half of your back as you work through it. There's a little bit on the setup. You can see to start, I just stack myself in a straight line, legs on top of each other. The foam roller, I'm going to bring it up around hip height because when I just lie down, I'm going to bring my knee onto the foam roller and my knee should be around the level of my hip. So I don't want it too far down and I don't want it too far high up either. You can have the foam roller position that your shin just runs along it and it's in a comfortable position. My bottom leg, you can see, is straight. The hand on the ground, pop it on your knee, just keeps it there. This free hand, the high hand, away from the ground, put it behind your head. And what you'll do is try and touch the ground in front. If you can, touch the ground behind you. So that's a rep. So what you'll do, again, controlled, touch the ground in front, touch the ground behind. You can see all that movement comes through your upper back. Generally, people can't do that. You'll see when they go, they might get stuck here. That's as far as I can go. Their knee starts to come off, and I don't want that. So I want your knee on the foam roller the whole way through. Because if your knee comes off, basically, you lose the movement through your back, and that's not what we're looking for. So keep your knee on the foam roller, touch the ground. If you can only get to here and you feel like you're blocked to there, trust me, once you keep doing these more and more and the other movements that work on your upper back, you'll feel like you free up a lot more. So you can see if I try one more time on my knees on the foam roller, I'm actually touching the ground there. All right, so a little bit tricky. If you watch from the other side, I think you'll get to see the movement through my back better from looking at it this side. I set up, so my knee is on the foam roller, up near my hip, my hand holds it. What I'll do, hand behind the head, I'm going to tip the ground in front, so look at my back, the upper half of my back. I'm trying to keep my foam roller, my knee down on the foam roller. I'm a little bit stuck this side a little bit more, but once I do a few of them, yeah, pretty much straight away. Just because I'm used to doing these so much and these types of movements. Again, you don't necessarily need the foam roller. You could have like a cushion or some kind of object there, but I do want your knee resting on the foam roller and it stays there. That keeps all the movement through your upper back, and then this position as well is just nice for your lower back as well, nice and safe. Really, really love this stretch. That's number 1 for today. It's called the sideline window. We are on to stretch number 2 for the day. The mat is gone, but you do need a little piece of equipment. It doesn't have to be a kettlebell or a dumbbell. Just something that provides a little bit of a counterweight, a bit of a counterbalance. This is called the deep squat sway. You'll see when I get into the bottom position. Your foot position, everybody's hips are a little bit different. So my squat position, my feet are generally just outside shoulder width apart. You might need to play around a little bit. They definitely shouldn't be too narrow, but whatever it is, you will need to find what's comfortable for you. So pick the weight up, kettlebell, dumbbell, or whatever it is you have, and you're going to keep it in close to your chest, and then you'll sink down into the bottom of a squat. You might hear a few cracks, as you can hear there. My chest is somewhat upright. I don't really mind. You can fold forward a little bit if you need to, and you're trying to push your knees out, and you can see I am swaying around, just opening out my hips. And again, you'll definitely feel it. You mightn't be able to get down as low as I can, but that should improve over time. Some people can get into a squat like this. Their mobility is so good that they don't even need a counterweight, but that is not me. My hips are not like that. Okay, so do keep that in mind if you see other people doing these types of stretches, that everybody's a little bit different in terms of their structure, how they're made up. You'll spend X amount of time in this position, and you'll feel, if you're down here long enough, you'll really feel it on your hips. Okay, so any kind of counterbalance is perfect. If you don't have a weight, or with this even, it's a little bit different. It could be your door frame or whatever it is that you can hold on to, and it's the same deal, that you're going to sink down into it, but you have a little bit more freedom here just to sway around, maybe a little bit more and turn into things. I don't really mind if you hunch a little bit. You can keep your chest up, But again, it's just nice movement down through your hips. You might be a little bit higher than me, but that will hopefully just improve over time. And again, this is a really nice one too. So this is the deep squat sway. We're on to number 3 here. We're back with the mat. Your start position is going to be lying down on your chest. Really nice for your shoulders. The running joke with this, if you've ever been arrested or in trouble with the law, you might know it. It's called a prone swimmer. The setup, I don't mind if you keep your forehead on the ground. If it feels a little bit tense on your neck or anything like that, I generally have it off slightly. You'll start with your hands behind your head, and then you're trying to bring your arms out wide. Make sure there's nothing around you wherever you're doing it without touching the ground, and then hands on the small of your back, and then bring them back to the start position as 1 rep. Hands behind my head, a big loop around, hands at the small of my back. That's 2. And as you work through them, again, not too fast or not too slow, as with all our movements, you'll really start to feel it on your shoulders. It's a really nice one for moving through your shoulders, and you'll work through however many reps I've given you. Ideally, hands off the ground. It's not the end of the world if you need to touch the ground as you go through them. And these are your prone swimmers. Okay, we're on to movement 4, which is the bonus movement of day 2. If you're still here again, thank you so much. This is going to work balance, which is something that I really like doing. I usually have this in my warm-up or in my workouts, and they're a nice test as much as anything. They're called cone taps. I have a foam roller. The first time I did it, it was a cone that I used. So I christened it a cone tap in my video library, and it will always remain the cone tap. But you can use a foam roller, you can use a dumbbell, you can use any object that you have. What you are trying to do is tap the object off 1 leg. There's a good few things going on here. So if I demonstrate a single rep, I'm balancing on 1 leg. I'm going to reach out and tap the cone and then restart. Okay, so this standing leg is doing all the work, and it's really, really tough on your balance. There are a few things to go through here. If you're in really, really close, it's not going to be enough of a test. Doesn't really do much. And then if you're too far away where you just can't touch it and you keep falling over, that's not great either. So the pause needs to be just right. You need to find the point. And the first couple of reps are usually like that. You're trying to find that point where, okay, this is pretty hard. It's not too hard, and then it's not too easy either. I like to take 3 or 4 seconds to do them, so your standing leg is working for that amount of time. You can see if you look at my standing leg, it's wobbling, 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 and testing my balance. And the more you do it, the more you improve. If you go through it too quickly, it's too easy. This doesn't have to work for long enough. If you're in too close and the back leg, even if you're in a good position and the back leg doesn't come up, it's not going to test your balance. Think about making yourself into a T. So if you watch, I'm going to try and do a good rep here off 1 leg, 3 to 4 seconds. I'm trying to get my back leg up nice and high, and then I reset. When you go to reset each time, it can be a little bit quicker on the way back. When you're in this position, you should feel a nice stretch on your hamstrings too. Okay, and then you would match it up on both legs. There are a few ways you can make it harder. So there's a good bit going on here. This free hand, which you're not touching with, if you have it out to the side for balance, if you want to try and make it harder, you can plant it behind your back. So it just gives you like a more narrow base. And then I do them a lot, so you can see I'm not too bad at them. Again, you can make it harder by bringing your knee up, tap, knee up, and that whole thing of not touching the ground to reset each time. So if you watch it from this side, if I go through cone tap, you can see how hard I'm working. My back leg probably wasn't up high enough that time, but again, knee through. But this floating leg, if this doesn't touch the ground on all of the reps either, that makes it more difficult. But do what you can. Our last movement for the day. Thanks.